about this a minute ago. He is one of the guys that helped write the legislation to get insurance claims going. He has over 80 attorneys. Smart cat, been in the Army, U.S. Army, I think it was, right? I can't read all his stuff that he did, but let me tell a little story about Harvey. I wash my truck once a year, whether it needs to or not. So not too long ago, I washed my truck. Again, once a year, I do it no matter what. Cleaned it all out. Man, I'm so proud of myself. I got it done. The very next day, I go to a homeowner's house. Their house is trashed on Fort Myers Beach, and I'm going to write a contract with them, probably about a $200,000 contract. We're doing the roof, the siding, the windows, HVAC, electrical, the whole 9 yards. I go look at my truck for a pin, and this is the pin I find. That's what I had to write my contract. This is a swag that Harvey has. Harvey, come up here and talk to us about some good stuff.
All right. Hey, everybody. My name's Harvey Cohen. I have a law firm. Like you said, we represent homeowners, any insurance claims. We help people like that. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit off right now. We do a lot of condominium associations. We do commercial claims. Can everybody hear me okay? We do commercial claims. We've handled tens of thousands of claims. We've been in business over 20 years. A little bit about my background is when I was a young, crazy kid, I joined the Army and did the deal. And that's what paid for my college. And then I went to law school. I was a prosecutor. I started in a little office downtown Orlando, and now we've grown this business. And we're statewide, and we got probably around 250 employees now. And it's just really incredible to see the growth. But it's taken me 20-something years to build this thing up. But we are really here to help people, and that's why I love working with Paul. Thank you for putting all this together. I know everyone else has thanked you, but really that this is just such a great panel. I'm honored to be here. We are here to help people. Everybody on this whole panel is here to help people. I'm sure all of you are the same. Listen, we all want to get paid, but you have to do the right thing first, right? The money will come as long as you take care of people, and that's what is in our hearts and the way that we run our business and the way that we take care of people. That's it. That's our number one goal. Just take care of everybody. Everything else will come into place. Before I forget, there are two things that I really wanted to mention to everybody. Number one, today is the 1-year deadline, right? They changed the laws about the time that you have to file a claim. So it's 1 year now, but all the Ian claims and Nicole, we still have 2 years for those, okay? So I'm getting a lot of calls from contractors that say, oh, I heard, the deadline's coming up, it's next week or whatever, and I'm trying to explain to everybody, no, we still have 1 more year to file the claim. So everybody needs to remember that. You still have 1 more year to go get Ian claims or Nicole claims and get those filed. As long as they're filed timely, right? That we can litigate those later. As long as they give the insurance company notice, then we're good. Shoot, I forgot the second thing I was going to tell you guys. And it was important. No, somebody said something up here, and I was like, I got to remember that. But anyway, huh? Oh, the percentage thing. Anyway, so. I hope it's not like that. There are great public adjusters here. There are some that I know, like really, really good ones. And we all work together. And the name of the game, and really I appreciate everybody that's here. Hopefully they saved the best for last. Not really, because this panel's great. But no, but there are so many good people here. All of you guys, it's great to get to meet you. If I don't know you, please let's talk a little bit. We're here to help everybody. I give everybody my cell phone number. I will really call you back or text you back at any time, day or night. If you call me, I'll return your call. Another thing that I wanted to mention, we haven't done a lot of business together with was it Claim Pay? I'm sorry. But I would tell you this. A lot of people are worried that they go, okay, can we still get funded, put on a new roof, rebuild the house, and then do the insurance claim? And the answer is yes. And it's a great way to do it because it's already a cost incurred, right? The insurance company can't say now like, oh, you have some pie in the sky estimate. You have an actual invoice about this is what we've done and this is what's owed. And so for us, when we represent our homeowners or associations and we say, look, this isn't an estimate, here's the bill. Our homeowner owes this amount of money or has paid this amount of money. And so it's over, like that, it really helps out. So I tell people, I urge them all the time, get funding, do the project, as long as we put the insurance company on notice that we're going to do that. And that's a really important thing. We get calls all the time where somebody already replaced their roof and then they want to file a lawsuit. It's hard. You can't get your engineer out there and say, oh, based on the other houses in the neighborhood, this is probably hurricane damage. Too late. But if you give them notice, what we do is we send a letter and say, you have 10 days to bring out any of your engineers, experts, do any inspections you want. But after 10 days, we're ripping off this roof and putting on a new one. And then if they try to come to court later and say, oh, you spoiled our evidence, we say, no, we gave you every chance, every opportunity. You didn't do it. So then we're good. So that's always good. Get somebody out there to do that stuff first. Put the insurance company on notice before you rip off the old roof and put on a new one, to give them the opportunity to do what they're supposed to do, which is the inspection. Oh, that was the other thing that I remembered. The other one is, and I see this a lot, the stories you were just saying, okay, somebody, oh, well, if you file a claim, we're going to dump you. Let me tell you something. If you open a claim, the insurance company is not allowed to drop you anymore. Does everybody know that? You cannot drop somebody with an open claim. They have to wait until your claim is completely closed and your property is repaired before they can. They don't drop you, they non-renew you. But the game they're playing lately is what I've seen is they're increasing the premiums so high that people can't afford it anyway. We signed up a big association. Their premium was like $250,000 a year. It's a big one. It went up to $1.2 million. They go, oh, we're not non-renewing you. We're just going to give you a new premium. And of course, they couldn't afford that. So it should be. And so I'm glad that that they're good insurance companies or brokers here that can help do things like that, because that should never happen, never. But those are the kind of things too that I try to give insurance companies every opportunity to act in good faith, and if they don't, there are things that we can do and file certain paperwork to prove that they are not acting in good faith. And then what happens at the end of the case is we not only get money for the clients for their home or their association, we go back and say, now you owe us even more money. And I'm going to tell you this, every bad faith claim we've ever filed has been settled like that because the insurance company has to give us all their secret information if we file a bad faith claim. And they'll do everything they can to not give that to us. So ultimately, we're fine. You want to give us a bunch of money that we can give to our homeowner? Good. See you later. And then it just helps everybody. Well, I don't need to do this. Listen, we have folders up here. We have cards. My cell phone number is on all the cards. Please, seriously, reach out to me if there's anything else I can do to help anybody. Are there any questions? Yes. What I tell people is, especially associations, I go, listen, no matter what, you have to put on a new roof. Whether you get money from the insurance company or you don't, you have to put on a new roof or do repairs or do whatever it is to mitigate your damages, or else they can, not pay you. So I wouldn't worry about that. I don't know if we're 100%. But we are close. Like I know all of our claims. And I'm not talking about going to court, but claims, just claims. We're probably close to 100% of getting paid. Every trial we've been to, though, we've literally collected. Not everyone ever, but probably the last several through Irma, we got paid every single penny that we asked for from the court. When we actually went all the way through trial and got a jury verdict, we got every single penny that we asked for. But listen, out of 10,000 claims, I might have one that goes all the way to trial. Yeah. Yes. So, yeah. Okay. So, right. So, and that's a good question because the law just changed. So, what has always been, so we charge 15% or statutory attorney's fees, whichever is greater. That's what it says in our contract. Statutory attorney's fees means we get, if we go, okay, here's $85,000 that we collected for the roof, we can give that to the homeowner and say, now you owe us 15 grand for our attorney's fees. So all of that goes to them, and then we get paid on top of it. Ultimately, when we work together with contractors, our goal is always just get enough money to make sure we take care of the homeowner. That's the whole goal. So it doesn't matter if we cut our fee or do whatever it is that we have to do. The way that we work is we'll call you up and say, hey, we got a certain amount of money. Is this going to do it? Will you be happy with that? Will you do this entire project only for the deductible? And if they say yes, then we call the homeowner and say, hey, good news. We got X amount of money. Your contractor said they'll do it for this amount. You still owe the deductible, and if that's good with you, then we can settle this, and we settle it. In the future, unfortunately, because of the new law, they changed that, and we can't get fees anymore. So we're going to have to work on different strategies, but we want to come up with creative ways to still be able to represent homeowners and get paid, some kind of fees on top of that. And I have a great bunch of attorneys that are way smarter than I am, and they think of good stuff to put things in place. There are certain things that when you get into court that we can file, and if they don't do a certain amount, then it fees money that we collect. Just so I understand. So the question is basically like you file a claim, but then now we have more and more damage. Right. So yeah. Anyway, if they haven't paid the claim or if somebody hasn't signed a release, then we can go forward with a claim for that. Even if, and here's another trick that insurance companies love to do, is they go, oh no, we already paid that. Case you're closed. This claim is closed. It's not closed. It's not closed unless they signed a release. So they will pay these, at what I call them drive-bys. They'll drive by and look at the house and go, okay, here's $8 grand. See you later. And they go, oh, we paid it. Your case is closed. It's not closed. More expensive, yeah. Yeah, and you got the replacement costs. Everybody know that the difference between actual cash value and replacement costs, okay? So, yeah, and you guys know me, so why didn't you call me? Blame that on Anthony. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, but we're happy to help you with that, for sure, yeah. Yes, sir. Oh, that's a good question. I just read an article that they investigated like the 6 companies that went out of business, and they were blaming everything on attorneys, public adjusters, contractors, everything else. The top, I think, whatever they had, the top 10 reasons that these guys went out of business. Number 1, mismanagement from themselves, not us. Doesn't have anything to do with not that. All of those things weren't even in the top 10 of what they were blaming us for. They go to Tallahassee and they go, oh, we have to increase premiums. Look at all these fees we're paying. Look how much a roofer charges, So it was all BS. But unfortunately, the future is tricky because we need insurance, right? And these guys are leaving. And I don't know the answer to that. I know, like when Jeb Bush, like when they were trying to pull out years ago, he made a deal with them and said basically like, look, you can pull out, but then take all your auto claims because auto makes more money than, they lose money on, or I don't want to say lose money, but it's probably more lucrative, right? Right? More, right? So that's what needs to happen here. We need to work with insurance companies and say, you can't just take all the good stuff and leave us with the horrible stuff. That's what insurance is all about, right? We have to get, like everybody puts in money into a pool so that way when it's your turn, you need it, that you have it. And so I don't know what the future brings, but let's see.
To add on to what he says, how insurance companies work is basically they take your premium and they are basically investing your premium to make more money on top of what you just paid. That's how they work. Or for property and some of these carriers. All right, they basically take that money and then they invest it to make more money. So what he means by mismanagement is they're placing their money incorrectly, and the next thing you know, they don't have enough money to pay all these claims from Hurricane Ian, let's just say. So that's why a lot of these companies are just pulling out because they're mismanaging what's going on. That's a huge issue with what's happened. That's what a lot of these companies do. They're big billion-dollar, million-dollar vendors, investors that come in. They start this group. They fund the money, pool the money. They start an insurance company. So then they have the money to, here you go, here's your policy. That's how they pay claims. And then we get into the process of reinsurance. That is the investor's money now. It's not the pool of money. They put in 90% of the money from your premium, and then the other 10% is the pool of money that they're keeping. Once that premium is gone, they tap into the investor's money. Investors don't like losing money now. So they have to pay back the reinsurance, the investors, before they do that, before they start. No, 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 no.
That's FICA. So if they
Yeah.
go all the way out of business, it's FICA.
Yeah.
Reinsurance is when they're actually working on your case and saying, hey, we need to hit our reinsurance to get money.
Yeah. So what we're dealing with right now is a lot of these companies that have paid out a lot of claims, they got to build back all the money to pay their investors back. So that can through paying like general liability, auto, life insurance, all these other type of insurance that are out there to pay back what they just lost because they got to pay back their investors what they lost. So that's how there's a lot more to insurance than what the eye sees, basically.
That's true. Yeah. But here's another, and they probably know more than I do, but I read an article that said, years ago, something like 60% of your premiums went to pay claims. Now it's something like 30%. So that just shows you the difference in their business models, right? And how deep they are in the administration and making money on all of those instead of doing it how they used to do it. All right. Any other questions for Harry? That's it.
Harvey, real quick, just explain to the people the importance of having a team, either a public adjuster yourself or a contractor yourself, when you're settling the claims for these people, and why they would want to have that team put together.
I love those, and especially when it comes to big commercial jobs. I love going out with contractors, with public adjusters, and we tell people, we got the whole team. We're all here for you. We're going to take all of this stuff off of your shoulders. Who does commercial claims? Anybody? Commercial claims? All right. Well, anyway, listen, if you do, you go to these condo associations, these boards are made up of a bunch of, retired people that they'll tell you, oh, well, I was a contractor 40 years ago in Ohio, and let me tell you how to do this claim. And we say, well, it doesn't really work like that, sir. But you understand, right? That's what we run into. But it's really good to come together as a team and match up, whether you're a public adjuster, contractor, attorney, get together with other people and put together that team. And it's just a much stronger pitch to the board. And they love to see that you're working together. But thank you. Anything else?
And one other thing with that, guys, just so you know, I deal with a lot of manufacturers. The manufacturers will come to those meetings with Harvey, myself, public adjusters as well. You can give them other materials they can use. Like a tile, they're always looking for, if they have money, all of them don't, but some do, they're going to look for another manufacturer. Brava Tile is a perfect one. 188 mile per hour uplift on their tiles. So you want to go there, educate them, and you have the team. That's, again, why we're all together here as a team, to give the client the best options.
Any other questions? And I'll be around. I don't know if we're still going to hit balls or whatever. But thank you again, Paul. Thanks, everybody on the panel. Thank you all for your time and all the education that you gave us. Thank you, guys.